Tomorrow, I'll stand beside those who call Onyx their home. My friends, my family, all in a desperate effort to save this planet we all love. We face a terrifying foe, one unlike anything Fenrir has seen before. A savage who claimed himself a god. Luckily, we don't ride into battle alone. If we simple mortals try to stop Ingvar, surely we would be slaughtered. But we have a man revered in a similar standing to Ingvar, Lord Kazai, whose legend rivals that of Ingvar. If you told me a few months ago that I would be fighting in this war, I would have laughed in your face. I was no warrior. I could barely handle the sight of a bug in my home, let alone wield a katana, with deadly precision no less. This transformation of mine can only be credited to one man only, Seldrick, the samurai. Again! He would often yell during training sessions with new recruits. I recall my first day training. Seldrick had to write my stance quite a few times, but I always made sure I was ready to swing when he yelled. I'm sure he respected my dedication to learn despite not giving an appearance of a fighter. I didn't think I would make it past the first day. Again! I clutched my katana with blistered hands on the second day. When my muscles burned with each swing, I could feel myself getting better. Less correction needed on my stance, consistent rhythm with each strike. It was hard to tell at the moment if I would have what it takes to strike down a member of Ingvar's horde. But with each swing, I began to believe that I could. I tried to picture the face of one of his brutes. Crimson blood splatter would follow with the killing blow. 2 days in, and I had already felt bloodlust. I imagine the others around me felt. Ingvar threatened the very existence of Onyx. It was obvious he wanted to wipe us out, our history, our traditions, everything. I love Onyx too much to let that happen. For must transition from a scared man, afraid to leave his home, to a warrior, determined to see my enemies surrender or die. And so be it. Again! On the third day, I continued to show Seldrick I had what it takes to fight on the front lines. He showed us some techniques, and I did my best to learn them quickly. A few days prior, I had seen Sade, one of Lord Kazai's chosen, practicing in the field as we were escorted to the training camp. As she swung her katana, it didn't look like she was preparing for war. The way she moved reminded me of dances back in my hometown. Don't get me wrong. You could tell she was forced to be reckoned with on the battlefield, but there was a certain beauty in the fluidity of her movements. I wanted to be more graceful, like Sade, but I found it very difficult. Something about swinging a deadly weapon like that made me a different person entirely. I was becoming stronger and more fierce. My friends and family joked around they wouldn't want to fight me, not like before. I was surprised how fast I was picking this up. I was turning heads, impressing everyone. Everyone but Seldrick. Day 4 came. I showed up excited, as always, to practice. But to my surprise, I was the only one there. I stood on the platform we had been using to train for a few minutes. Finally, Seldrick showed up, and he had Sade with him. Sade stopped further back and waited with her palm resting on her katana. Seldrick walked up to me, didn't give me any instruction. Instead, he walked back and forth in front of me, with his arms folded. I wanted to ask if he had done something wrong, but I didn't want to be disrespectful. After a few moments, he spoke with me directly for the first time. I delayed training today specifically for you. He began. Show great promise of quickly becoming a fierce warrior. You're feared by your peers, you strike with deadly intent. You act like one of Ingvar's dogs. The praise, at first, put a smile on my face, but was quickly replaced with a stern look, as a slight chill went up my spine. I feared Sade would cut me down then and there. But I knew it wasn't Lord Kazai's style. I continued to stay quiet. I meant no disrespect by my actions. But Seldrick was right. I wasn't training to become one of Lord Kazai's chosen. I was no better than an enemy. We don't fight like them. Blind rage and blood for blood's sake isn't what we represent. Seldrick put his index finger on my temple and pushed it lightly. We'll fight with what's up here. He then placed the palm of his hand against my chest. Our intentions will be driven with what's in here. Anything other than this, and I don't want you in Lord Karzai's army. Do you understand? I nodded. The rest of the fourth day went like normal, but I held Seldrick's words close to my heart. I still do to this very day, before we face our enemies. I remember Sade stayed for the entire training that day, but didn't get involved. She didn't even say a word. I wanted nothing more than to impress them both. Again! On the fifth day, I helped some of the other recruits that were falling behind. Seldrick commanded me to, and I knew it was my chance to show him that I was becoming more than just a fighter. As if Seldrick's word didn't change my life enough already, this fifth day was special for all the new recruits there. Some people have never seen Lord Karzai in person, but that day he walked through our camp, and I got just a glimpse of him. The same way I was in awe watching Sade practice in the fields close by, I couldn't help but be enamored by him. As for the rest of the recruits, Seldrick gave us a moment to bear witness to our Lord, the man who will save us from Ingmar. He had a very large orc walking beside him that I had never seen before. They casually walked through the training grounds before disappearing from my sight. We all trained extra hard that day. None of us will ever live up to the legend that Lord Karzai has become, but by training properly under Seldrick, we can at least become a small part of his triumph. As the days went on, Seldrick taught us many things, not just about the art of war, but about representing Onyx in the best way possible. We'd fight honorably and show mercy if possible. We're a bit different from Ingmar's men. We would do whatever it takes to make Lord Karzai proud. We would instill these values in ourselves, in each other, in our future generations, again and again.